All right, in this video today, we're going to show you how you can take your new community members, plug them into your CRM and automate the outbound so that you can book more calls and make more sales. Let's get into the diagram, the flow of how this whole thing works and why you'd even want to do this. So you might be a coach, a consultant, a service provider, you might have a business, you might want to start a free community. Now, for the purpose of this video, we're going to show you how to do that using Skool. But you could do this using Facebook, you could do this using Circle, you could do this using Mighty Networks. It's the new Go High-Level communities. There's lots of ways that you can do this, and you can apply the same logic to what we're doing here today. But the point is, you're getting traffic to your group. And one of the key things that you want to do when you talk about optimizing sales systems in a group is collect all the information that you can. It's really, really important because having all that data is power. So when we talk about collecting information, we're largely talking about collecting email addresses and collecting phone numbers if appropriate. Why do we do this? Well, we can take these email addresses and grow your actual email list. Similarly, as we have phone numbers, we can grow the phone list, I guess would be the appropriate way to name it. But the point is that you now have access directly to your leads. So whether you answer you in the DMs or not, you can email them for marketing emails ongoing. You can SMS them. We'll show you how to hook all this up. Or you could just straight up call them. And even cooler than that, in part 2 of this video, we're going to walk you through, once you've got all this information, how you can plug in AI to do the calling, to do the texting, to do the emailing for you so that you can book calls hands off. With that being said, let's get into the first part of this, which is setting up the Skool community correctly and how to make the Zapier piece of this run. Step 1 in this whole equation now is to optimize your group. We're going to use the AI systemizers community here as an example. You want to go to settings, you want to go to plugins, and you want to go to membership questions. Now, again, we're using Skool as an example, but you can do this everywhere. Couple of key pieces of logic here. Number 1 is you want to make sure that the people that are joining are actually the people that you want to work with, the people that are joining your community. So this is a qualifying question. For example, AIS is for business owners who want to leverage AI and systems for massive growth, proficiency, and profit. Are you a coach, consultant, agency, or service provider? Someone would say yes, or you could make this be a checkbox. Next one, required to enter what is your best/real email address. If it's fake, you'll get removed from the group. No bots, spam allowed. Super important. You want to maintain the cohesion and the quality of your group. And the number 3 is I would always make this a straight up offer, right? People are going to join and people are going to want to be helped straight away because that's why people are joining things. So in our example, we help business owners build epic AI-based sales systems that print money via chat and voice AI. Drop your cell and country code to get our info or just say no if people aren't interested. You will have examples below this video so you can model these and create them for your own community. But crucially here, we're collecting email address and we are collecting phone. Now that we have that, we can dive right into Zapier and actually set up the connection between Skool and Go High-Level or whichever CRM you're using, and then trigger the automations in there. Let's dive into it. Step 2 is to get into Zapier, okay? So that's zapier.com. There's a link below this video for you to go straight there. And what we want to do is head to Zaps. Quick note here, it's free up to 100 tasks, and a task is considered as a step, okay? So you connecting 2 apps together is 1 step. That's what we'll go through now. If you do more than 100 of these a month, then you will have to upgrade, okay? Or you can do it manually, that works too, but we're not here to do manual stuff, right? We're here to learn how to automate things. So what we're going to do is create on Zaps, and Zapier actually has this really cool functionality where the co-pilot just helps you do stuff, right? So we're going to do new Skool member into lead connector, or new Skool member creates new contact in lead connector. Now, quick note on this, lead connector is the fancy word for the connector app that goes into Go High-Level. So if you use Go High-Level, lead connector is what you want to use. If you're using Active Campaign, you just type in Active Campaign. If you were using MailChimp, you could put MailChimp, right? But for the purposes of this video and for what we do right now, we're going to show you this. So the Copilot is going to suggest an outline for the actual apps and the way that these things connect. Let's have a look. So it's going to say new paid Skool member, add or update contact. We're going to add all these steps and then just go through correcting them. Okay, we're not adding a new paid Skool member. That's a different video, slightly different strategy. So the app is Skool, that's fine, but the trigger event is answered membership questions. Okay, so when someone actually answers all the questions, we want this to trigger. And then what we want to do is for the it to connect to the right community. Now, I'm just going to walk you through how this works. On the account, this is where you select the right Skool account. You're going to go to connect new account, and it's going to open up a second page here with your Skool API key. So what you're going to do for this is you're going to go back to your actual group, and you're going to go to probably plugins. Let's have a look. not webhooks. Let's find it. Where are we? Zapier integration. There we go. What you're going to do is you're going to generate an API key. Okay. Once you've generated that key, which we're just going to do now, we'll have it blurred out. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Cool. So we're going to copy it and we're going to plug it directly into what we were talking about here. And then we're going to get the Skool URL. Okay. For us, it is this last piece. Remember, this is the bit after Skool. So https skool.com/whatever is behind your URL. And we're going to click on yes, continue to Skool. This should now connect to our account. You can see it's called Skool number 2 here. And what you want to do, just to make things nice and simple, is to actually test name for vid. Give it a name that you would recognize. Okay. Then we're going to press continue and test. This will just be testing it. Now, there are no new members right now. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to skip it, but you will have people, this will work, or you can test it yourself, create another Skool account, join your own group, and so on and so forth. We're going to skip the test. The next piece of this now is that we want to set this up with a connection to Lead Connector. And the way that we do this is we want to use the add or update contact opportunity. You can do loads of stuff, and we're just going to do it this way. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to connect it to a new Lead Connector account, and it's going to be the same process. It's going to want our API key. Now, depending on which CRM you use, for ours, I'm just going to go to it right now. You'll find it in settings under my business profile, and you will see an API key here. You might have to generate one. Don't change it once it's done. And what you will do is that you will then paste it into this section here and connect to Lead Connector. Head back to here. So again, the other thing that you want to do, just like before, is name these connections appropriately. Otherwise, it's going to get confusing. Right, so we're going to call this test connection vid CRM, right, just for me so I know. And we can continue from there. Now, the configuration is simple. What you're going to do is you're going to go, all we really want is first name, last name, full name, phone number if they've added it, and email. Okay, so remember we have those 3 questions. So what we do is we type a / and it's going to give us the information of the contact. In this case, it's test information. So first name, John, last name, Doe, full name, John, space, Doe, phone number. Let's see if they have an example here. I don't believe they have. But in your example, this would be the answer to question 3, if you were using the model that I was using before. And then in the email, this would be the answer to question 2. But let's just see if they give us an example. Cool, fantastic. And then we want to give it a tag. The reason we want to give it a tag is that this is going to be the trigger for the automation that comes afterwards, where we send an email and where we do outbound. Okay, so the tag for the example of this is I'm going to call this test AIS, right? So test _ AI systemizers. The source doesn't matter too much, although you can say, test AI systemizers for vid or whatever you want. I'm going to leave it blank right now. And you can add something in the notes. For example, joined community on. If you do a / it's going to come up with a date. So this way you know exactly what this person has done. We're going to press continue. And what we're going to do is test this step. Now, if this successfully populates a new contact inside of our CRM, it means it's working. So let's go back to our CRM, to our contacts, and let's have a look here. You can see John Doe at gmail.com, test AIS. Okay, this is the person that we just created. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to publish this Zap, and this is now live, and this is now officially working. Let's get into step 3, where we actually set up the automation and the pipeline inside of Go Highlevel to do the outbound SMS, to do the outbound email, and to get people engaged. In step 3, now that we have the Skool pieces set up with the membership questions, we have Zapier successfully connecting new membership requests and uploading all that information into our CRM. We're going to go ahead and do this inside of Go Highlevel. This exists everywhere, right? It doesn't have to be Go Highlevel. As I said, this will exist in ActiveCampaign. I don't know whether it exists in MailChimp, but either way, basic automations should exist inside your CRM. And if not, I suggest that you switch CRMs because it's a super important piece of functionality. So what we want to do is head over to automations and create a new workflow. You can just start from scratch. We're going to walk through it together right now. And what we're going to do is, first and foremost, we're going to name this. Okay, so I'm going to call this test. In fact, for me, do not use, right? Test for vid Skool member. Okay, just so I don't use this in the future, or I don't get whatever bogged down with this is. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up a new trigger first and foremost. Now the trigger is going to be, remember we created this contact with a certain tag, and the tag that we used was test_AIS. Okay, now the tag that you chose should have been different to that, but what we're going to do is we're going to use the trigger being contact created, okay, or contact changed is even better. So contact changed, and from the filters we're going to select tags added, and the tag that we wanted to add is test AIS, and we're going to save it. Now I always like naming these triggers because I like it to be clear. Tag added test AIS, save, there we go. We're just going to go ahead and save that. Now what we want to do is really simple. So we've now got this, right? We know that this person has been added to the group. We know that we've got a note added that says the date that they joined and so on and so forth. So what we can do in this situation now is we just want to send them that welcome email first and foremost, okay? And so if we have a look at, there we go, we'll set this up in a second. Let's see if we have any templates in here. Looks like we do. Let's have a look at this quickly. Cool, so you can see that I have this template set up in here, which is the what we use for the Skool right now. If you actually want this, then if you're not already in my Skool group, I would advise that you join because there's all the good stuff in there. And so you can get the template for this actual email in there as well. But the point is not that. So we're from email, we're just going to do test@vumx.com. From name, Vianney Wilson. Action, we're going to call it send welcome email, just so it's super clear for us in the future. And we're just going to call this welcome to Skool group -AIS. Really simple. There we go. So we've got the welcome email that's going to be sent. And then we're also just going to do the SMS really simply, right? This is going to go out to this person. Hey, contact first name. Welcome to our Skool group. Right, remember, this is for someone who said that they were interested in hearing more about how we can help them build AI-enhanced sales systems that print money. So you put your number down to learn more about AI systems, right? We're not going to go into detail. Is this still the case? Let me know and we can chat, right? Sign off with your name. Cool, so really simple. This is now what we have. Okay, we're going to publish this. And now we're just going to test this. Okay, I'm going to pause this video, request a new entry into our Skool group and test that this whole thing works. All right, so time to test. We're going to click on join group and we're going to add some information. Okay, so remember, yes, I'm a consultant. Right, required email. Let's just do a random email here. Let's see one that I would still receive that I never use. There we go. And then phone number as well, right? Okay, really simple. We're now going to request to join the group. So this is our action done, okay? The membership's pending. This wonderful human wants to join our group. Let's see what happened inside of our CRMs. All right, so we can see here is the actual request. I'm going to approve it. And let's see what's going on. Heading into our CRM now, we can see that in the actual contact section, I'm just going to search for the tag, which was test_AIS, right? You can see that we've got here, this is the submission that I made. And when we actually have a look at this contact, you will be able to see that this text was sent, which is the one that we set up, and that the email was sent as well. So this is all locked and loaded and ready to go at this point. We're going to set up another video where we'll show you how to do this with paid members, and then we'll show you how to connect all of that so that you can do AI outreach to these people as they come into your world to automate the booking process. Thanks for stopping by, and if you aren't in the Skool group yet, I advise that you join. The link for that will be below. All the good stuff is dropped in that group, including stuff that you won't see here on YouTube, all right? See you on the next one.